Yeah, buddy. Are we live? It's noon here in Bethesda, Maryland, and this is news that you can use from YAA with your hosts, Zach and Ray. How's everybody doing today?
Wait, I'm waiting for the
Yeah. They're all good.
They're all good. They're
all
not
good.
doing as good, Dad, as Toyota is.
Yes.
We finally got some good news. It's taken...
Okay, but before you say, hey, we finally got some good news.
What?
It was a month ago.
Well, but it's still good news.
It was good news in August.
But but we just got the information today.
Okay. No, I get it.
Wow. Debbie Downer in the on the stream today.
No, not at all.
Everyone that's affected by Hurricane Ian down in Florida, we are thinking about you. That is another story and topic that we'll ultimately end up having to discuss here because likely we'll end up increasing car prices.
At least in the Southeast. Yes. I mean, because probably tens of thousands of cars were destroyed in Florida yesterday and today. And, those cars are going to need to be replaced. And so I could see wholesale used car prices skyrocketing in the Southeast.
Yeah, well, we'll touch on that here in just a moment. But first, the kind of good news. Published in Reuters just today, Toyota global vehicle output rises 44.3% in August to a record for the month.
Yes.
Now, we've recently reported on the fact, and it's in this article here as well, so we'll just come down to it. Production soared 44.3% in August year over year, the first increase year over year since March of this year. Toyota produced 766,683 vehicles worldwide. Domestic production was up 5.6%. Overseas production was up 65.1%.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Now, last week, Toyota had some not so good news, which was, let me get this ad out of the way. It's quite obnoxious. There we go. Toyota had some not so good news. They plan to produce about 800,000 vehicles worldwide in October and November, which was 100,000 less than they had previously forecast.
Yes.
But they also beat their August estimate. So maybe Toyota is practicing a little bit of what Ford and other automakers aren't, which is setting really good expectations. Hey, we're going to produce 800,000, but maybe we'll actually beat that and get back to the 900,000. I was inspired when I saw this. It was the first good news we've had in a while.
I'm glad that inspired you. Yeah. It's wonderful. It was a sizable increase over the same month a year ago when they were really down.
Yep.
Yes.
And at the same exact time, we have the latest data out from Cox Automotive. They think that light vehicle or vehicle demand in general is, where is it? Quickly disappearing.
Yes.
This bodes well for those of us who have been waiting on the sidelines to potentially buy a new or used vehicle.
Yes, vehicle sales are expected to stagnate with pent-up demand quickly disappearing. And one of the reasons that pent-up demand is quickly disappearing was attributed to the increase in interest rates, so that the monthly cost of ownership has gone up dramatically for people looking to buy a car. And it is dissuading people from actually completing a transaction, even though probably 85 to 90% of incoming vehicles for like Toyota, Honda, Mazda, some of the Asian brands are pre-sold prior to getting to the dealerships. They might find that some of those people that have left deposits take themselves out of the market between the time they left a deposit and the time their vehicle actually comes in.
It feels like we're in the midst of a bit of a changeover period. We've seen the changeover period happen in the used market.
Yes.
We're there. Used car prices are negotiable. We talked about the Black Book data on Tuesday. We'll bring it up again today because it obviously does tie in with the hurricane as well. But wholesale used car prices are down significantly and continue to be down week over week, which makes used cars negotiable. Now, on the new car side, for the longest time, we've seen Stellantis products, so Jeep and Ram and Chrysler, be negotiable. They've had inventory. They're still incentivizing. But most other brands, we have seen the pent-up demand be there. This is now the third revision downward of Cox Automotive's annual sales forecast this year,
which started at $16 million. 16 million vehicles was the projection.
And now we are at
new vehicle projected sales for the year. And now Cox has lowered that number now down to 13.7 million. And that's a pretty significant decrease. So that's
You've
what,
talked about it,
20%.
and you've talked about on the show all the time. If people are not buying things, you got to lower the prices. And we've always talked about that through the lens of make more affordable vehicles. But honestly, you know what we're going to see here? We're going to see the average transaction price of vehicles start to go back down. I mean, maybe not next month, but I think we've just filmed a video that'll come out tomorrow on the main channel talking about the best time to buy a car.
Mm-hmm.
Used cars and new cars. I think we both agreed end of this year. End of this year is kind of that sweet spot with interest rates rising, demand continuing to weaken, supply starting to get a little bit better, both on the used car side and the new car side. End of this year.
One would suspect, but there are any number of things that could change that.
Yep.
Certainly, Hurricane Ian was one of those things that can impact pricing moving forward. Natural disasters that can occur. It is so hard to project what can happen based on so many unknowns. But if we continue down the path that we're on, one should be able to see a scenario where dealers are more willing to deal in order to sell a vehicle, only because that's what it's going to take in order to get people who are sitting on the sideline to get off the sideline. And let's face it, I mean, part of what the Fed was trying to do was to cut consumer demand, to cut consumer spending to help bring down inflation. And you could look at this and say, well,
They did it.
Yeah, it seems to be, even in what had been a hot car market, it seems to be cooling the car market to some degree, because it's hard. It's, when I was talking to my friend Chip the other day, he said it's so difficult to get people to pay what it takes on a monthly basis to afford the cars today. He said like the sweet spot for our dealership, the payment's got to be $650 and below. Well, the average payment today on a new car transaction in this country is, I think, $733. So you can see how that's an $83 difference. That's significant, and it's becoming harder and harder for the dealers to get the people to swallow the size of the payment that it takes to actually buy a car today. And it's, the payment is ludicrous. I wish we could get him on the show, but the payment, I mean, really is, when you think about it, I mean, that is just an inordinate sum of money to set aside every month just to pay for the car. You're not talking about insuring the car. You're not talking about gassing the car.
Yep.
You're not talking about maintaining the car. That's just the payment to pay for the car. That's so sizable.
It does make you wonder a little bit, that, because if demand really does go away because payments are too high, average transaction prices are too high.
Yes.
It does make you wonder. At the same time, we're seeing suppliers raise prices to manufacturers. So we expect new car MSRPs to go up even higher.
Yes.
And then today we are seeing the used car stocks get hammered. CarMax down big. Carvana has been down big. Car Gurus, everyone, all down. It makes me wonder right now, it's so hard to triangulate this. I guess what I'm trying to articulate is, I think we're going to end up in a place where demand is so weak on new cars because the prices are so high, and prices don't come down that much because the manufacturer's hands are tied because the supply prices went up, which ultimately, if that comes to fruition, would lead to used car demand going back up again eventually. It has to, right?
One would assume.
People still have to buy cars and have transportation, or people are just going to hold on to their vehicles forever, which is also kind of what's happening. We've seen the average age of the U.S. fleet just go up each and every year. Pretty fascinating stuff.
It is. That's what makes it so hard to predict what's going to happen. It's almost as if there's this perfect storm. And I don't mean to use that analogy, after a huge hurricane, but it's, between inflation, between rising interest rates, between the parts manufacturers having to raise their prices to the OEMs, somewhere between 7 and 20%. When car demand is softening, and yet prices have to go up to take into account the extra costs involved. Um, you say to yourself, well, what's the ultimate outcome of all this? And the only thing that I can think of as the ultimate outcome is a recession, that really puts a crimp in all of consumer spending, which will ultimately then bring pricing down. Um, because the manufacturers can't just afford to sit on the stuff they manufacture and not have it get purchased.
Yeah, and their profits will go down as well.
Yes.
We need to spend some time actually talking about the used car market because of what's going on with those stocks. But let's jump in to the chat here for just a moment. We've got from this viewer. Should I buy a Toyota now or later? Then I'd say if you're in the market to buy a new Toyota, I would still get my name on a wait list today. I would not be waiting around. Used Toyota, go negotiate it now. It's going to be less negotiable than say a comparable vehicle, like name a Ford equivalent or a GM equivalent,
or a
Stellantis equivalent.
Or,
but I would expect it to continue to be negotiable between now and then.
I think most of your Asian brands that are in really short supply, Honda, Subaru, Toyota, Mazda, I think those brands, you'll be able to negotiate to some degree on their pre-owned products, but not to the same degree that you can on GM products or Ford products or Stellantis products. And maybe even some of your European products.
100%. Mustafa says, I like Ray's sweater. If it's taxable, it's negotiable.
And that is true.
Justice, thanks for dropping the link in the chat. I'm meeting with a designer today.
Yes.
For some refreshed Car Edge merch. We're going to keep, if it's taxable, it's negotiable, and I'll just power. But we will have new designs soon. So I'm very excited about that.
Me too.
Laura's got a question, Dad.
Yes.
Best guess on when we will see rises in new car MSRPs? 2 weeks, a month, Black Friday. We've been talking about it.
Well, we've seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the 2023s that have already been announced. I mean, they've been announced with an increase in the MSRP. What we were talking about last week, and what we anticipate is further increases down the line.
Yeah.
And I used as a arbitrary date, just an example that perhaps maybe, manufacturers will say anything built and invoiced to the dealership prior to January 1st will be at an old price, and then after January 1st would be at a higher price. I don't know. I don't have any insights that say, yes, on January 1st, there's going to be price increases at most of the brands.
Yeah.
But I would anticipate moving forward, if the manufacturers of the parts that the OEMs need raise their prices to the OEMs, that we're going to see future additional increases in the MSRPs of these vehicles.
When you were in the business, a model year price increase would maybe happen once, if that.
Once or twice a year, perhaps.
Wasn't baked in, perhaps.
No, and the once or twice a year when it would happen, I mean, it was like $100 difference in the MSRP, or a $250 increase in the MSRP. But I would suspect that the size of the increases are going to be much higher than that going forward, because we're already talking about cars that, if an average transaction price is somewhere between $45,000 and $48,000 on a new car, if the MSRP of a vehicle is $45,000 and there's a 1% increase, well, that's a $450 increase. So, if there's a 2% increase, it's a $900 increase in the MSRP.
I'm going to ask Justin on our team to do a little bit of research on this. I think this would be fascinating. Maybe next week's newsletter. If you're not on the newsletter, join YAA.com, become a member. You'll get the newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask him to do some research on this. what vehicles have already seen the most significant. I think we even have a blog post that tracks this for like trucks potentially, but I'll ask him to dig into that, because I think that's an incredible resource that we can put together to also put into perspective what is a 5% increase in MSRP on a $35,000, $45,000, $55,000 vehicle. It's a lot of money.
Yes. And back in the day when we would see increases of $100 or $200 or $250, I mean, the cars were, I don't know, $15,000 less to begin with than they are today.
Yep. See a couple folks in the chat talking about how they're going to make moves, call dealers, all that fun stuff. If you are going to buy a car anytime soon, and heck, we even have some things with maintenance and repair discounts now for members as well. Join our community. Join YAA.com. Use the code FALL20. It ends tomorrow night. End of tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll extend it through Saturday when we do the live show. We'll see.
Hey, well, you're the boss. You can make that call.
Community forum, by the way.
Yeah.
Just got an updated look and feel.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I have mine set to dark mode, which I know you don't like.
So I can't.
Switch to
It makes
light mode.
my eyes crazy.
So we've updated the design of the community space, and big announcement coming Saturday. We're going to make it free. So everything's going to be free. The Review My Deal, all that fun stuff going to be free. And we're starting to work on our first premium course. So a course that you're actually going to have to pay to get access to, going to help you negotiate the best deal here at the end of this year. And thank you, Slippy. Yes, definitely become a member for all of the perks.
Yes.
Now, and thank you, Eagle. Appreciate your comments.
Will that include perhaps discounts on the newly fresh and redesigned merch when we have it?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let's do that too. That's a great idea. You should get discounts on merch.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything. If you're a member, you're just going to get discounts. Yeah, well, pre-announcement now. But I'm going to announce it on Saturday. Don't worry. My bad.
Yeah, well, you have a hard time containing yourself.
I do. I'm excited about what we're working on. I really am. All right, shall we do a bit of an update on what's going on with Ford?
Yes.
Thank you, because that was what I had next.
Good. I was hoping Ford was next.
This article comes by way of Fox 19, now a local Fox affiliate in Cincinnati, Ohio. Unsellable Ford trucks fill Kentucky Motor Speedway parking lot. We talked about this just the other day with their blue ovals. They're not able to get their logos. Now we've got some video and photos here. I'm sure there's an ad, but let's get through the ad. They've got some videos and photos. 15 seconds, folks. I won't make everyone watch the ad. Videos and photos of all these trucks sitting around waiting for parts. Not a good look for Ford.
No, but it's
kind of par for the course.
Yeah, it is. It is what it has been.
Yep.
And it doesn't appear to be getting any better.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
Yeah.
All right, let me pull it up here so we can all take a peek at the video. Yeah, look at that.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yes.
Ford said they've got between 40 and 45,000 vehicles sitting
waiting there, and at another facility, I think in Indiana, an old munitions plant. So you would think at a certain point they should just find some of those old munitions and blow that crap up.
Laura is actually near the Speedway. It's been going on for months. Yeah, they had dirt mountain. Now they've got this. And please remind everyone what some of the concerns are with vehicles that have been sitting around like that.
If you just look at that picture and you see all those vehicles parked on either cement or asphalt, whatever it is, I can assure you if there's between 40 and 45,000 of those vehicles and they are just sitting there ain't nobody going out there saying, hey, I need the keys to the 45,000 trucks so we can move them around the lot so we don't get flat spots in the tires. But, if they spend any time there, I don't know, a month, maybe a tad more, maybe a tad less, and they're not moved, there are going to be flat spots in those tires that will not come out when you drive them. So the solution to that problem is, well, you have to replace all 4 tires. And then
expensive.
Just sitting, yes, it is. And then just sitting around areas like that, rodents love wiring harnesses. They just love them. And it's like, there's one rodent out there going, guys, over here, okay? And then the rest of the rodent families come and just they make homes.
Were you consulted for the movie Ratatouille?
No.
Have you seen Ratatouille?
No.
You haven't seen? That's a great movie, man. It's one with the little mouse, and it's a little chef mouse, little chef's go mouse.
A little chef's mouse. No.
You haven't seen Ratatouille?
No.
What are you doing tomorrow night?
Not watching Ratatouille. I can tell you that it's a cartoon, is it not?
It's animated. It's not.
Yeah, okay. It's an animated film. I don't watch animated films. I don't. I don't. I'm sorry. But anyway, if you ask what can go wrong with these vehicles sitting there, those are just a couple of the things that can go wrong.
Yep.
And then obviously, weather takes a toll on all those vehicles, the paint, the clear coat, everything else. And then, there's always lot damage. I mean, it just happens. I don't know. Yeah. So it's not a good thing to have all those vehicles sitting there and they don't know how long they're going to be sitting there. And it's obvious that they've been sitting there for a while.
Yep.
So yeah, I would be careful if I was buying any of that.
No. Wait a second, Ben.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Calm down.
I can't.
Calm down.
I can't.
Lindy's saying I got to make you watch it, Dad. So maybe that will happen. Let's answer one more question here from the chat from Happy Hippo, and then let's jump into really. You've got to be kidding me.
Okay.
What do you think interest rates will be starting in 2023? We saw, if I'm not mistaken, you should make animated YAA training videos. Maybe.
I doubt it.
So let's talk about this a little bit because we saw, I think it was the latest data from Cox said the basis point increase on auto loans was like 43 basis points or something like that. Like it's not going up as fast as the federal funds rate is going up.
Yes. But
you've got to imagine that by the start of 2023, the average auto loan's got to be 1.5 points higher than it would have been right now.
Well, I don't know that it'll be a point and a half higher, but if it's a point higher, I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a huge deal.
I'm going out on a limb here. I say if you're going to buy a car next year and finance it, you should expect that the interest rate will be at least 1% higher than it will now.
Yeah, one of the things that you might see in order to encourage people to still buy cars is subvented interest rates being offered by the captive lenders.
And we are seeing that
whether it be 0% interest or 0.9 or 1.9, it will be significantly below what the current walk-in rates are for banks and credit unions. So that could encourage people to continue to buy cars.
I'm pulling up,
but that's an additional cost, a marketing cost for the manufacturers. That's a type of incentive that they haven't really had to use, or when they did have to use it, it was a relatively inexpensive incentive because interest rates were next to nothing anyway.
I'm trying to find it here. Give me one. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm going to share a couple things on the screen.
Okay.
And then we're going to go to really, you got to be kidding me.
Okay.
Ford Escape discount offers 0% APR during September 2022.
Wow.
There you go. We've got Buick Envision discount offers interest-free financing in September 2022. 0% interest.
Okay.
And then, like we were talking about before, 2023 GMC Savannah gets substantial price increase over 2022 model. How substantial? A $5,200 price increase year over year.
That is substantial.
So just examples of what's going on out there in the market right now.
Making it harder and harder for more and more people to be able to afford to purchase a new vehicle.
Here we go. Jumping back to the chat here for a second, then really, you've got to be kidding me. Samuel says, Ray, I am only a little younger than you. Ratatouille is a funny movie. You might enjoy it, Zach. It's a rat, not a mouse. Thank you. Very, very, very good point. Consider it, man.
Well, okay, I'll consider it.
Don't make the YAA videos animated. Ray won't watch them.
I won't even be in them.
Jorge wondering if we will be attending any auto shows anytime soon. Probably not. However, I am still very interested in doing our road show, probably March of next year, where we go cross country, we stop, we help people. What's up?
Well, March is a tough time of year to travel cross country. It's still, you can.
So you want to wait a little bit?
April.
Yeah,
March. The weather can still be bad for travel.
April of next year, we plan on traveling cross country, meeting up with folks, hosting meetups, helping people negotiate car deals. Yeah, that would be a good time.
Okay.
Have our own auto show.
Yes.
You're ready?
Traveling auto show.
You ready?
Yeah.
If you want to hear it,
really? You gotta be kidding me.
All right. Thank you to the team over at Jalopnik. The worst looking cars of all time, according to you. Unsurprisingly, you all have very strong opinions about car design. Let's start the slideshow.
No, I don't think that one's particularly ugly.
2020, Chevy Silverado 2500 HD.
Yeah.
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 I hate it when my entire heart and my entire soul.
Yeah,
Eh.
that one's
Next.
not so bad. Now
BMW
that-
iX.
Yeah, and the ones with the Bugs Bunny teeth in the front. Yeah, that qualifies as
That's ugly.
yeah. Well, it's overdone. Overdone. I don't know what that is.
What is this?
I have no idea.
The Mose Opera sedan?
Yeah, sure.
That's
Yeah.
kind of cool looking if you ask me. I think that's a cool hatchback.
Yeah, no, everybody wants one of those.
I like this one.
Especially Mose.
I like that one.
Okay.
AMC Matador X? What the heck is this?
Oh, that was well when AMC was still a car company.
Yeah.
The Matador was their muscle car. And I didn't think that was a bad looking car at all.
No.
I remember the Matador.
I think that's a pretty cool looking car
Yeah.
if you ask me. All right,
Yeah.
let's see what's next.
That even Mad Max and Beyond Thunderdome wouldn't drive that.
Yeah, this is, who knows if it'll ever even come to fruition. Probably not.
Yeah.
Stop giving them content for another slide. Wait,
Yeah.
there we go. Here it is.
That is truly one of the ugliest vehicles I have ever seen. Okay, a Nissan Murano
Cross Cabriolet.
Yeah, whatever. And the only thing worse than that is at the Jersey Shore in Ventnor, I see a Land Rover.
Oh,
ragtop.
The Evoque. Yeah, Land Rover Evoque convertible.
That's Equinox. Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah. There's a difference between an Evoque and an Equinox.
You're talking about that.
Yes.
Right?
I am talking about that is truly
the Murano looks worse than that, man.
Yeah, the Murano does look worse than that, but this just indicates to me that the Evoque should never be in a convertible format. Just should not be.
Dude, this is the ugliest car ever.
It ranks right up there.
I mean, that is the stupidest looking thing ever.
It ranks right up there. I mean, and I love a convertible. I love a convertible, but I wouldn't be caught dead. Well, maybe that's the only way I'd be caught in one of those. I wouldn't be caught dead driving around in that.
What about the Chevrolet SSR? Wow.
I remember the SSR. It wasn't so terrible.
It's kind of weird looking.
Yeah, well, it was their take on the PT Cruiser.
Toyota Mirai. Yeah, it's kind of ugly, but it's not bad. GMC Envoy XUV. That's a pretty ugly one.
Yeah. Well, it's not as bad as the Aztec.
1962 Dodge Dart.
Man, look at the size of that thing. That's when darts were really darts.
I think it's tiny.
Yeah.
I think that's looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Any more? Hyundai Atos.
Oh.
Yeah, it's kind of ugly.
Yeah.
Studebaker Champ.
I remember Studebaker. I didn't remember that they made a pickup truck.
I'm very curious to go back to the chat and see what people say.
Yeah.
Gen 2 Dodge Durango.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it's kind of looks like a caravan. The Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
Some people love the Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan. The Ferrari 550 Maranello. Yeah, that's ugly.
Well, for a Ferrari, it is. Yeah.
Let's do one more here.
Okay.
A Hummer. That's a good one to end on.
Yes.
Yeah. A little not my favorite. Curious what we've got back in the chat. People love the SSR. It has a Corvette engine. Here you go, Pops. The Evoque is the ugliest car ever, convertible or not. Cybertruck first.
Yeah.
I saw an orange Aztec that was mint last week in NorCal. I stopped and took photos.
Yeah, the Aztec was truly the Aztec was the precursor as to why Pontiac had to go out of business.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, lots of people say Pontiac Aztec.
Yeah, it was. Do you know what a Pontiac Aztec looks like?
I think I do.
Okay.
Let's
look. The Aztec was truly. I don't know what they were thinking about when they came up with this vehicle.
Let's see. Image search. Yeah, this thing.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
This is Walter White had it in Breaking Bad, didn't he?
Maybe, yeah.
I think they drove an Aztec.
Okay. Yeah, that
It
was.
doesn't look too bad from the side profile, honestly.
Oh my God! It was.
It looks
so-
worse from this
It
angle.
was so ugly. It was
Oh
like
my
a
gosh.
mishmash of every poor idea that a automobile designer ever had.
Yeah, Breaking Bad card quote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it right.
The Thing, I remember the Volkswagen Thing. That was you should pull that up. The Volkswagen Thing was as bare bones a vehicle as you could ever hope to find. But yeah, I kind of like the Thing.
Why the Honda Element? I think
There
could
you
have been
go.
on the list.
Yeah, the Thing. I always thought that was an interesting vehicle.
Has Doug DeMuro reviewed every freaking car ever? He's just like, you Google search a car and he pops up. It's pretty incredible.
Well, yeah.
I think that's kind of cool looking.
Well, that was we used to see a lot of things
Huh.
at the shore in Ventnor and Margate and Longport and Atlantic City.
Fiat Multipla?
I don't know what that was. Pull it up. Let's see if we can find that.
Nissan Juke. Yeah, why is no one calling out the Nissan Juke? Nissan
Well,
Juke's
Yeah,
pretty ugly as well. All right, Fiat Multipla?
that's what
What Justice said. Fiat Mul. Oh my. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay.
And look at who it is.
Is that Doug DeMuro?
It's Daddy Doug.
Oh my God, that is.
Justice, take a bow.
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, the only thing worse than that was probably when I don't know if it was Fiat that built it or who built it, was the Pope Mobile.
Yeah, the Pope Mobile also is probably pretty
Yeah.
ugly.
You know what I did see the other day on the road?
Huh.
A Planters peanut car.
Did you actually?
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
Yes. Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
I was trying to figure out how to crack open the shell. Get to some of those nuts.
All right, so we are back tomorrow, noon Eastern. I think Miss Kimberly Klein is joining us at noon Eastern. We've got an interesting story out of California I want to talk about tomorrow with Gap Insurance.
Yes.
They banned Gap Insurance for
Well,
some.
they didn't ban it.
Will the title of tomorrow's stream be Gap Insurance banned forever? Probably.
Well,
Is Gap Insurance banned forever? No.
but
What does that say about my character? I don't know.
it weakens your character. I will say that for somebody who bases everything he does in life on doing it the right way, and then there's this clickbaity other
Okay,
character
can
that
I
resides within.
Can I take a temperature check?
Yeah.
Of everyone that's here with us.
Yes.
Okay, how do I make this not a leading question? How would you feel if we released fewer videos? Just like 0 to 10. Like not 0 to 10 videos, but like 0 to 10, 0 being you think that's a terrible idea.
Oh, you mean like on the main channel?
On the main channel. Like if we did, instead of a video a day, we did like 3 a week. And they were better videos and like more.
Oh, well, there's no guarantee they're going to be better videos.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
Like this. Yes. Just all right. We've got
Look,
zero,
no,
zero, terrible idea. All right.
People,
No.
you know, people
No.
like that even though it's a
There's a
stretch,
consistency.
that there's a stretch for us to come up with something relatively fresh on a daily basis. People still like to know that we're coming up with something
Twice a day. If you think about it, we actually do twice a day because we do this show.
Yeah, we do this show plus we do
We're not I'm not concerned about burnout. I'm concerned about I want more people to have access to the information that we provide, and I get concerned sometimes that with so much that we produce that some of the really good content doesn't get the exposure that it deserves. So that's what I was contemplating.
well, I think, if I may, and I haven't discussed this with you, but if we could find a better way of cataloging all the stuff that we've done, so that we could fit them into the different areas, that people could just say, okay, I want to know how to negotiate a factory order, or I want to know.
Yeah, we got to organize, man.
Yeah, if the stuff was actually organized and people could figure out how to, I don't know, find it, I think that could be more beneficial.
Look at this from Al right there.
Yeah.
My critical feedback is it's very hard to find stuff on the. Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah. And you know, and I look for stuff on the website all the time, and And I can't tell you how many times I've thought about throwing the company computer that you've given me because it's just flipping impossible
I know. I
to
agree.
find stuff.
I agree.
Yeah. So I don't, I don't want to tell you I'd give up part of my salary so you can hire a part-time intern to organize all this stuff. But you really do need to.
But that's what I struggle with. Like, we have some playlists, but I'm just wondering, like, playlist isn't quite what we need. Like, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I don't know how to address it, but I hear you. I hear everyone who says it.
Yeah, I don't know how to address it either, but it's addressable. I'm sure that there's someone out there that has an answer as to how you can do that. But it needs to be done.
Yeah, this is right up our alley. You can copy what some real estate YouTubers do. They have all the information for free but unorganized, and then sell a course where it's super organized and simple. I mean, like, yeah, we're probably going down that path, but it is disappointing to recognize that we have so much good stuff, but it's just not.
You informed me today that we have produced
Over 1,000 videos on the YA channel.
Yes. In less than 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot. Some are good, some are absolutely pathetic and don't deserve any viewership at all. And then there's others that don't get viewership that deserve viewership.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And I think people have grown accustomed to us just producing a video a day. And I hate to say it, but it's habit forming.
No, I agree. But it needs to be organized. But
Yes.
that's what we got to do with the course. We got to get the course really organized. Like, I am
Yes.
adamant about the course being
Absolutely.
organized.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you all for helping us brainstorm and troubleshoot. We will be back tomorrow at noon.
Yeah, we'll be back here tomorrow at noon Eastern and 9 Pacific with more news that you can use from YAA.
Wait a second. Look in the camera again.
Yeah.
The green screen is going through your eyes. You see that? Because of the reflection on your...
Whatever.
Look up. Yeah. Oh, also, before we leave, today's going to be a longer show. My dad is on TikTok. So if you're not following us on TikTok, we just did like a really simple...
and there'd be good reasons not to.
There's 118,000 people following us on TikTok.
Well, like I said, you need to get there.
Anyway, take a peek. We posted that on TikTok. Also over on Instagram. I posted it over there as well. So if you're not following us over on Instagram or on TikTok, you're missing out on this exclusive Papa Chef's
Got
Cook
147
content.
likes.
There you go.
Jeez.
Anyway, so check it out there. Thank you guys so much. See you all tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be back here again tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Have a great day.